All right, everybody. You know who it is. Targeted individual CJBK. And, well, you already see what's on the screen. I've been talking about it for quite some time now. I've been exposed to this technology, this electronic harassment, these psychotronic weapons, the use of acoustic, devices to cause pain or have an influence over, my biological functions and everything of that sort. So yeah, I'm basically just gonna go through some of these things little by little because I don't think people are really listening or they're really paying attention to what's actually happening already and what's about to happen very much sooner than anyone could ever anticipate. Right now, there are experiments, and if not experiments, I'm considering it basically dark web activities going on that consist of the use of frequencies, like basically transmitted frequencies that literally manipulates the central nervous system. If I'm gonna go into if I try to, I'm no expert in this stuff. I'm only just doing several readings and then trying to understand it all. Like as you can see here, right now, I just learned about this stuff like within the last 11 months, and of course it sounds crazy when someone tells you, or when you're watching on YouTube and someone is like, oh, they can read my thoughts and, everything that I think they can see, or everything that I say they can hear it and stuff like that. I mean, this is just the proof here. Artificial intelligence, it's not that scientific. They're already conducting studies where they basically can, like with this experiment here, this is in 2020, this experiment, they were basically using electrodes that they actually attach to like a cap of to like a cap, and then they placed it on the subject's head and had them look at certain images, and then a EEG, would basically detect the neural activity within that person's brain, and then it runs that activity through a brain computer interface, and then the artificial intelligence basically generates or decodes that brain activity and put it into like a binary ones and zeros, so that the computer can be able to understand it and then draw up an image of it. You can read the article for yourself if you want to learn more. This one here, I found it very interesting because if you know anything about lucid dreaming, oh, wait. Right, lucid dreaming. And then there's another one that I want to show you. Here, I'm not going to open up a whole bunch of windows, but this is one site you should definitely check out. Healing frequencies of the human body, full list and benefits. Trust and believe. When you start to fully understand why it's so imperative to learn about frequencies, electromagnetic fields, and how both things coincide, especially when it comes to artificial or electronic devices that interfere with the human body. You will wish and you will wish you had learned this information. And then once you do, you will start to change the way you live your life basically forever. Hell, it might even make you think about electricity so much more differently now. And I mean, to tell you the truth, when I go to sleep, I literally turn off. I go to my switchboard, and I basically turn off almost all the power, just so I could get a good night's sleep. But I mean, at the same time, they're also using infrared or some type of like photon, emission device that basically is still heating up the cell tissues of my brain anyway while I'm trying to sleep. But right, so there's another article I want you all to see. Now, if you had access to my bookmarks on my Firefox, what? And this right here, this would blow your mind. Definitely check out williamhenry.net. There are some things that this man is talking about, and it's not just some idea. He's actually combining the ideologies of, faith, Christian or biblical knowledge, and also combining it with the understanding and advancements of technology, and finding some crazy correlations between the two. Oh yeah, and then this is that actually kind of like doesn't even like surprise me. When I first read about this, I just never thought about cell phones in that way. But basically, long story short, your cell phone actually can change the the alpha brainwave activities. It can change the alpha wave activities in your brain. Let me see, but there was something else I wanted to show you. Oh, right. Let me see. Yes. Boom. This is what I wanted to also show, right? So lucid dreams, right? Now, lucid dreams or dream manipulations. People who are targeted individuals talk about how they've been experiencing weird dreams. And you know what? Some people might not even realize they're being targeted, because that's also a thing too. Because a lot of people don't realize that, most targeted individuals don't know that they're being targeted until they probably read up about it, or they get synthetic telepathy. They get contacted via synthetic telepathy, or they probably notice a strange occurrence of like random things being done to their property or to their yeah. So and like especially when it comes to like street theater, it always seemed like, whenever they walk past someone is like somewhat, saying like a person, like it'll be a like two people walking down the street coming in your direction, and then they're kind of just like, they're talking to themselves, and all of a sudden you would hear something that sounds like they said something about what you either did or said in your own home. It might feel coincidental. Yes, I know that sounds a little odd, but trust and believe, if you know as much as I have learned about technology over the last 11 months that this stuff has been happening to me, I kid you not. I kid you not. I kid you not. I'll put my life on this, and when I say God willing, I mean God willing, man. So, but yes, not synthetic television, but dream manipulations, right? So these scientists had found a way to use magnetic resonance imaging to unravel nighttime visions of unconscious minds through breakthrough study, right? Now, taking that and going along with this article here, where they basically did some of the same, where they basically used the same kind of method of technology, but what they did was they took several patients and had them view images of different faces of people, right? And then they ran it through a brain-computer interface, which actually stored all of the neural data that the patients patients or subjects had taken in. And what they did was they basically were able to use what's called a GAN. Now we're getting into something else now, right? But this is all connected, right? GANs are, I guess in the best way I can explain it, it's kind of like a way that uses artificial intelligence to basically go back and forth and compare the stored neural data that was basically retrieved from a source, which would be the human subject, and then it would generate it would generate a synthetic, image or whatever, and then you as the human, as the source, you would have to differentiate what's real and not. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this all correctly, because like I said, I'm no tech person. I literally just I'm just a person that don't do nothing nobody, but people have this social engineering idea that they want to be able to manipulate others into doing whatever they want them to do. And if you don't do what they tell you to do, then they basically use your neural data against you. They expose it to their secret society. They create slander campaigns. They do everything against you, whatever the case may be. But basically, they took all those images that the patients had looked at, or the subjects had looked at, combined them, right, to create a whole new image, and then implanted it into that person's brain, right? And then that person had to decipher whether that was a real person or not. But come to find out, it was actually a combination of all the different faces that they looked at. Now, when you think about dream manipulations, sometimes you might even find that, and I've had it happen to me quite a few times, where I'm like, I know it's a lucid dream because I've experienced it enough. And at the same time, I'm looking at the faces that I'm seeing in my dreams, and I'm like, who the hell are these people? I have no idea who these people are. They're not celebrities. They're not people I've seen or met before. And then it dawned on me one day that it was just like, wait, if there's multiple people having their neural data collected all over this city, then imagine how many types of like synthetic memories they could be implanting in a person's mind, especially while they're sleeping. So think about if someone wanted to create a synthetic crime, right? If someone wanted to create a crime and say that the police get some type of an anonymous tip or whatever, say that, oh, you was present, you did the crime, blah blah blah. The next thing you know, they come knocking at your door, they come and get you, and they're like trying to like interrogate you, and for whatever reason you was nowhere near the scene of the crime, but for whatever reason, you have a memory of a person that was so-called, a part of the crime or the victim of the crime, and you have like these memories that you never actually had yourself, but they've been implanted in your mind because someone is using technology that basically takes brainwave activities, um, decode them, decode them into like a computer, binary into a binary function, into a binary data, or whatever the way to say it. And then they would manipulate that data and then send that information as a frequency back into your brain, right? Now, in this study here, here we get into and they're like, it's coming. No, it's already here. It's just not public yet. It's just not for the general public yet. But the sad part is, there's too many people now who are already using this stuff, and they're abusing the powers of it. In this study here, this part about mind reading, these I guess, I don't know if they're just like scientists or students at I think it's what is that, where is this school, where is this university, right, Carnegie Mellon University, right, neuroscientists, yeah, where they're using, right. So, like I told you, they're using fMRI brain imaging to decipher what a person is thinking by using, and there goes the sensitization, because, there's no traffic this late at, what, 12:41 a.m.? There ain't no traffic outside. I could go by my window right now and look out the window. Ain't no traffic outside. So, remember, there's 9 different tactics when it comes to gang stalking, and horn honking is one of them, But yeah, by using machine learning to analyze complex patterns of activity in a person's brain when they think of a specific number or object, read a sentence, experience a particular emotion, or learn a new type of information, the researchers can read minds and know the person's specific thoughts and emotions. Nothing is more private than a thought. Come on now. So, like, if they already can do this, right? Functional magnetic resonance imaging, right? fMRI. Just imagine if someone can use, I believe it's called a fontana. A fontana, or I know a fontana can be used to detect frequencies, but I think they're using, I'm not exactly sure what devices they're using. It could be a combination of an infrared laser that basically it can, with the right adjustments, it can penetrate through the skull but not completely through. You have to adjust the I guess the power or the heating of it or whatever. I don't fully understand it, but I know someone who's going to see this video is going to know what I'm trying to say. And they can be able to scan the neural activities within the brain, and then probably even detect the exact frequency of that thought or memory remotely with no type of headgear or anything, And then, I'm not even really going to get into the whole idea of like the government's been, spraying all these nano particles, all the whatchamacallit, the nano metals and all that stuff. And we've just been breathing it in, this nanotechnology and stuff. I'm not even going to get into stuff like fluorescent, nano diamonds, that attach themselves to neurons. So then if somebody were to be using like a some type of like scanner or something on our brain activities or on our neurons, they can see the exact resonating frequency of everything. But yeah, all of that is basically to come back to this one thing here. This is exactly why there are discussions being made all over the world, probably not in the U.S. yet, because the U.S. is always trying to act like they don't necessarily, believe in not having surveillance. And I believe the U.S. government knows about these rogue I believe the U.S. government knows about these rogue groups out here that's using technology to socially engineer the population. I believe they do because the Air Force is well equipped to know about any of this stuff because, well, I mean, they're the Air Force. NASA too. And then, let me see. Then it would also be, let's come here. Right. Now, it would only make sense, right? It would only make sense. Why, if it was not a real thing, why would Army researchers be building a device that can detect quantum, frequencies or quantum energy and like basically a quantum sensor that's capable of analyzing the full spectrum of radio frequency? Now let me tell you this, right? Okay, all right. I'm about to show you something else. One last thing, and then I'm getting off because I should have been in bed. I'm supposed to wake up for work tomorrow. Within the next 2 hours and like 14 minutes. But my sleep has been disrupted so much, and the way these like perps just constantly mess with my nervous system, whether it's trying to so-called give me osteoporosis. I'm only 32 years old. Why would I have osteoporosis? Or they're basically, trying to destroy the nerves in my body. And again, that's why I always get like tingling, pins and needle sensations in my hands and in my legs. It like, I can't make this stuff up. You see, I'm pulling up the actual facts, though. It's not like I'm like a crazy person just talking about, theories. This is literal facts that I'm showing you. So, the one last thing I wanted to show you, golly, I cannot seem to remember what it was. And that's the other thing is, when they're doing all this stuff to your brain, well, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and show you that part too, because that way you could probably understand if you're actually, if you're experiencing some of these symptoms, you might be becoming, you might be developing electromagnetic sensitivity, right? So, right. These are symptoms of electromagnetic field exposure, right? Skip those, and we're just going to go ahead and go into these, right? So, sleep disturbances, including insomnia, headaches, depression or depressive symptoms, tiredness and fatigue, dysesthesia. I probably said that wrong, but yeah, a painful, often itchy sensation, lack of concentration, changes in memory, dizziness, irritability, loss of appetite and weight loss, restlessness and anxiety, nausea, and skin burning and tingling, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and just leave it at that, right? Cause I'm tired. I already know there's like 101,000 people in this city that's basically trying to see if they can destroy me and whatnot. Yeah, quite honestly, you know, I spend my entire life always trying to be a good person, never being a problem to anybody, never doing nothing to nobody. Um, and yet, and yet people still want to mess with me. I don't even talk to that many people. You know, most people come and talk to me, if anything. I don't even ask people about their problems a lot of times. I'm kind of, well, no, I ask people about how they're doing and stuff like that, but oh, I don't know. You know, I just take to it. I just take it up to God, and God just, always let me know every day you've been chosen to go through this. Uh, oh, right. You're probably asking why he got a belt around his head. So I'm using this belt to kind of press my headphones closer to my ear because I'm listening to a frequency that basically the frequency is supposed to what's the number? Right, 852. 852 is supposed to be the one that basically removes intrusive thoughts, keeps you very positive minded and stuff like that. But at this point, I'm tired. So, I just wanted to give y'all that. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here on this earth. Especially knowing that like this secret society basically was trying to manipulate me to become a police officer, and I was just like, no, I don't want to become a police officer. So they was like, okay, so then your privacy is over. You know, I was like, well, I never really cared that much for privacy because anyone who knows me knows I've always been an open book. So, what they're gonna go and show my medical records to people. They're gonna go and say that, oh, he was a very sexual person. Oh, he drank a lot. Oh, he did all it. I'm like, you're not telling nobody nothing that I haven't already told them myself. And then anything that I haven't told them, nobody just haven't asked. So you still don't have any power over me. All you're doing is just torturing me and hiding behind devices. You can probably manipulate and fool everyone else with fear of their, neural data being exposed and whatnot. But I don't know. My God taught me not to have any fear against anyone who used devices for wickedness. So, and look, my God told me I shouldn't fear no one but him, because we're not meant to live on this earth for that forever. We're basically just in these vessels just to live out our lives, to see, what actions we will take and how we will live our lives. Will we be living our lives for the good, or will we be living our lives for selfish reasons that basically supports the ideals of the fallen angel, which is the prince of the power of air, Lucifer, And Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, those who are dead in their transgressions will I forgot how it goes. Those who are dead in their transgressions will basically be living their lives according to the prince of the power of the air. So, yeah, I use technology to manipulate people's, you know, central nervous system and their brain functions and their thoughts, emotions, and all that. They're basically trying to create hell on earth, right? Like, how do you take an honestly genuine good person, right, and then you manipulate their vibrational frequency to the point where and they don't know what's happening to them. So next thing you know, that person becomes almost psychotic. This is exactly why we need neural rights. This is exactly why the country of Chile is doing something that the United States should have been doing. But obviously, the United States is constantly always doing some secret undermine. I mean, just about all these major technologically advanced countries are always doing some shady, some dark shadiness, and call it in the name of surveillance or protecting the public. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I really wish that I don't know. Sometimes I wish I had lost my passport in, one of them countries I visit, like Belize or something like that, and I just stayed there. Or sometimes I wish, when I was a kid and I found out, I didn't find out till I was like an adult that my father wanted to bring me to Barbados, but my mother didn't let him. But that's a whole nother story. Like sometimes I wish I just grew up out in Barbados, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I've been on here long enough. So remember, everybody, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.